So Jonathan Majors had another court appearance, and this was this Tuesday. I want to say it was Tuesday, but it. I don't want to say it's new evidence, but his lawyer is bringing. I'm gonna say he bringing the heat. His lawyer has additional. Uh, People are saying very compelling evidence that supports his innocence. Um, so we know he appeared in court. They set a trial date for August 3rd for his assault case. New evidence appears to have been suggested with a different version, a different account of events that previously happened. His lawyer's name is Pyra Chaudhry. She reported, she submitted that eyewitnesses interviews, phone records, credit card statements, hours of surveillance, and police body cam video. And she said that this will prove her client's innocence, as told. This was told to to Insider.com, or whatever. Her hope is that the misdemeanor assault charges get dropped now and that they have this evidence. But if not, she saying that she is ready to take this shit to trial. She said, y'all want to go to trial? We'll go to trial. We make y'all look stupid, man. She said, we'll make y'all look stupid. So the evidence, according to his lawyer, is the driver of the car took Majors and Jabari from the Brooklyn bar the night of the alleged assault. Said he's ready to testify. He never saw or heard Majors raise a hand or voice at Jabari. Jabari is the girlfriend. Said he never raised a hand or a voice, and that Majors tried to get away from her, and she pulled on and ripped his coat. So that's coming from the driver of. Everybody was saying it was an Uber. It wasn't an Uber. It's an actual car service, black limits, black car service, or something like that is what it's called. So it's an actual car service, not Uber. These is an actual business. Not saying Uber ain't a business, but this is what, you know what I'm saying. It's a car service. Um, okay, Milwaukee. What a hey, man. I used to small-minded brain of mine. I used to think Milwaukee didn't have, you know what I'm saying, like Milwaukee, and then I see it's a lot of black folks coming from Milwaukee, man. A lot of them. I used to, but small-brained, small-mind me, man. I don't, and I'm not even small-minded like that, but it's something in my head was like, ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? It's cold, it's this, that, the third. But man, salute to Milwaukee, man. Salute to the Bucks, salute to anything in Milwaukee, man. Don't you know what all the accents and everything? You know what I'm saying? Back to Major. Said it's a small group of women who recognized the Creed 3 star during the altercation, hugged him and took a selfie with him during the altercation. So during the altercation, he out here giving selfies. You know what I'm saying? He interacting with fans and everything. So he letting it be known that he you know what I'm saying, there was nothing violent going on with him that night. Said the bartender at Lucy's nightclub at the Moxie Hotel in Manhattan, who remembered Jabari's British accent and would testify that Jabari was having a great time and that he recalled no bleeding ear or bruised finger. I guess this was the nightclub that she went to after the alleged assault. You know, they got the video. You know, we've seen the video images and all of that of her partying the night of the assault. So after she left him, she went to the club, kicking it and everything. I guess this bartender is saying he remembers her due to her accent, and he vaguely, not vaguely, he remembers her having no bleeding ear or no bruised finger. Uh, so you know, like I said, there was the security footage and all of that didn't show her with any kind of right hand injury or anything of that nature. Um, Let me see what else they said. Because this, I'm just running through the evidence. Just running through the evidence. It says the building handyman shared the building handyman of their shared triplex penthouse, who accompanied Majors when he arrived hours later to help unlock a walk-in closet where Jabari was allegedly found half naked and passed out on the floor. So that's somebody else that they're involved that we never even heard of up until this point. The handyman would have seen that she was already inside the triplex penthouse before he even arrived after the you know what I'm saying. So it seems like everything that he said is kind of lining up, you know what I mean. If all of this evidence is true, everything is lining up. So also there's a unidentified witness who was on the phone with Majors as he came back to his penthouse after spending the night at a hotel and found Jabari in the closet. So I mean, all of this, not saying it's true. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Because there's people out there, oh, you're just taking this side. But no, it's not that. A lot of this stuff makes sense into what he was already saying. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Majors was already saying these things occurred, but y'all was giving, y'all was, I mean, so quick to write homie off, man. You know what I'm saying? So quick to write homie off instead of stopping waiting to see what's going on with the evidence. Yeah, these still, you saw the foot. Yeah, the footage is out there. You know what I'm saying? Also, per the lawyer says, credit card statements, Jabari charged rounds of shots and an 800 bottle of champagne to Major's credit card while at Lucy's. After seeing a breakup text from the magazine Dream Star, she allegedly charged a taxi ride back to their shared triplex, where she arrived at 3:23 a.m. according to the surveillance footage. Inside also notes that after Major sent the text, he allegedly turned his phone off. So remember, in the text thread, there's a big gap from the last time he sent that message talking about, hey, leave your key. There was no response from Jonathan Majors after that until the next day. Like that text thread, a lot of people was looking at the text thread like, oh, it reads like, no, it read like, hey, where my fucking key at? Leave my shit. You out here acting stupid. Leave my key at the door. You know what I'm saying? And I have somebody meet you to get your shit out of my apartment. That's what it reminded me of. You know what I'm saying? That's what it reminded me of. Also, the surveillance footage from the street corner where Majors allegedly got out of the car during the altercation. So they're saying it's footage of the altercation. Footage from Lucy's nightclub, footage from their shared penthouse, the penthouse elevator footage all shows that Jabari was allegedly the aggressor who didn't show any signs of an injury to her hand or ear before heading back to their penthouse. And I always said that from that the night of the alleged assault up until the next morning, she had all the time in the world to go out and injure herself. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's what she did, but there's a big, huge time gap from that night to the next previous to the morning after. You know what I'm saying? To where she could have, especially when we saw her at the club, she clubbing. Ain't no telling what happened, you know what I'm saying, happened at the club. Then you got the police body cam footage. Said that the NYPD body worn camera video turned over to Sharji by a prosecutor shows a disoriented seeming Jabari telling cops and paramedics that she had drank to the point of throwing up in the bed and had taken several sleeping pills. The defense lawyer said in the letter, Jabari had no idea why her finger was bruised and her ear was bloody. Sharji said in the letter, instead telling first responders, I don't know, telling 19 times. So she said this shit 19 times to the cops that she didn't know, but yet and still, they still came at him. She also asked what happened to my finger to one of the cops when she was alone with him. Charlie told Insider saying that the police body cam footage shows Jabari looking down at her hand as if discovering the injury for the first time. This is the first, so she ain't even know she was hurt. Sharji said in the letter that Jabari also told the officers that she started a fight in the car because she saw a text. She started it. So in this footage, she's stating that she started a fight in the car because she saw a text from another girl. We know who this girl is now. We see who he out with. He out here parading around with Megan Good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure she got jealous. Allegedly, she probably got jealous because you got to be careful with your words nowadays. She got jealous with what was going on, and she tried to grab his phone. She said, but then the cops asking her if he hit her, punched her, Sharji told Insider. At one point in the body cam footage, the cop who would end up swearing out the original assault complaint can be seen in the video touching his own throat several times while questioning what Majors did, as if coaching her. This ain't looking like 1 million. This ain't looking good on the opposites on the person accusing Jonathan Majors. If all of that is in this footage, you know what I'm saying, then man, this gonna be one. I think if that's what it is, I think the case should be dropped. I'm just say that right now. If all of this is in that body cam footage and all the other evidence that his lawyer is presenting to the DA as of right now and to the judge, as per this last court appearance this week, they need to drop this case ASAP. This is I don't see this as a win for this. He still says that's what it feels like. Yeah, Whole trial is odd. Yeah, it's odd. Is if what's weird is if all this evidence exists, why are they still so hard up and still pressed on trying to push this narrative on Jonathan Majors? Now, it's come. His lawyer is now coming out and saying that it could be a racially motivated witch hunt because they're saying that they didn't even know who Jonathan Majors was. The police did not know who Jonathan Majors was, right? So, charges is maintaining the earlier claim of racism on the part of the officer, citing that the body cam footage of their impressed faces and commentary of the triplex penthouse, the alleged coaching, and the one officer was allegedly seen on camera doing to Jabbar to get her to say he strangled her, and that the alleged unwillingness to look into Major's claims that he was the one who was actually assaulted. So it's weird, right? If all of this is on body cam and all of this is on the footage, and the surveillance and things of that nature, receipts, literal receipts of her, you know what I'm saying? Because in cases like this, people are saying, well, what does that have to? Character has a lot to do with cases like this. You know what I mean? Character got a lot to do with cases like this. Dre Mac, what it do, man? What it do? Character, your character has a lot to do with cases like this. And if her character is showing that she's can be a liar or can manipulate things to her advantage and things of that nature, that's what they're going to play on. Then if the cops were racially motivated to take the homie Jonathan Major to jail or to, you know what I'm saying, to lock him up because they see this frail white woman and this big, you know what I'm saying, this big black dude, you know, this might be just cut and dry. I think they might need to drop this case. This case need to be dropped, in my opinion. I'm not taking sides, but if let me say, if this evidence that the lawyer has presented is to be true, then this case needs to be dropped, right? This case needs to be dropped. He needs to come back with a countersuit, sue her, because this is sue her and the police department, because this sounds like a witch hunt to me. So with JM moving up in Hollywood game, the timing of this feels too convenient. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. The convenience of this is wow, right? You know what I'm saying? He's on this meteoric rise. Um, he was being looked at for damn near he was gonna be the next whatever actor you want to put in there. He was on his way to be in that. You know what I'm saying? This conveniently happens. You would think this should be let's look into this to substantiate his claims. But when the police don't do the actual job, this is what happens. You see what I'm saying? When police don't do their actual job, this is what happens. You should have tried to substantiate the claims. Hey, if I'm saying, hey, look, man, you go look over there. This is everything that happened. Go before you even take me, do your job. Invest just a little bit of investigation. I'm pretty sure they would have seen that. All right, cool. You called it. Oh, you the one who called? Oh, she's the one acting erratic. Oh, okay, well, let's just separate y'all. You go over here, y'all go. You know what I'm saying? Go yourself, because some of this stuff don't need to be escalated to the point to where it is. Not everything. Some of it is pure violation. You know what I'm saying? Domestic violence, assault, whatever you want to call it. But everything is not that. And as a peacekeeper, and I'm talking to you, policeman, as a peacekeeper, you want to keep the peace. I don't see that happening here. So the aftermath of these allegations, Majors was dropped by his management and PR teams, the ad campaigns with the U.S. Army, the Texas Rangers, which is a Major League Baseball team. Like I said, several upcoming movies. He was supposed to be an Otis Redding biopic, an adaptation of Walter Mosley novel, The Man in My Basement. He has not been dropped by Marvel yet. So I want that. It's a narrative around saying, oh, Marvel is just sticking behind him. I don't know if they're sticking behind him, but they haven't dropped him yet. So they've created a little cushion between themselves and Jonathan Majors, but they have not dropped him yet. So let's quit pushing that. You know what I'm saying? He also faces more abuse allegations from multiple women. I don't know how true that is, because we hear about multiple women, and I haven't seen, since that was reported, I haven't seen anything come from that, right? Only because the actual report was multiple women cooperate with the DA. Cooperating with the DA is just coming in and having a conversation. That's cooperating with the DA. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean that they came in and said, "Yep, he did it. He did it." You know what I'm saying? All of them didn't point the finger. That doesn't necessarily mean that they pointing the finger saying, "Yeah." It could be a character thing. They might have cooperated to say, "Yeah, his character." You know what I'm saying? He ain't the best when it comes. He hurt my feelings too, because they had. You know what I'm saying? The one dude came out. Oh, he hurt my feelings when we were in a play or something. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So that doesn't mean that they came and corroborated to say, yeah, he whooped the shit out of me too. He beat my ass too. That's not what cooperating with the DA means. Joyce, I bet Jonathan Major's lawyer met with the Marvel first about presenting their evidence. I think so. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Things of this nature, I'm pretty sure Marvel probably, being his biggest nest egg, or his, you know what I'm saying, somebody who's probably paying him the most. I'm pretty sure they're high on the priority list to call and talk to. So yeah, the lawyer, I'm pretty sure, said, hey, this is, and that could be the reason why they haven't. We've all said, why hasn't Marvel dropped Jonathan Majors yet? Right? I think they learned from their past mistakes with Johnny Depp, and I think they are taking the, well, let's just wait and see approach, right? And if all this evidence is what it is, I'm pretty sure Marvel, they got the money to do their own investigation. I'm pretty sure they know too that this is some bullshit. Now we just have to wait out in court. They can't come out and say it's some bullshit because it's an open case. You know what I'm saying? But for them to still be hanging on the way they are, I mean, because a trial could go either. A trial, you could have the best evidence in the world, the trial could still go sour. So I think that's the reason why you get Marvel just hanging back and waiting, you know what I mean? So, but I think this is a slam dunk, man, as far as on the defense side. I think on Jonathan Major's side is a slam dunk, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully he can get his life back on track. Seemed like he getting his romantic life back on track with the whole Megan Good situation. So salute to him on that, man. And but yeah, man, hopefully justice plays out the way it's supposed to be played out. And that's really all I can say, man. That's really all I can say. Yeah, Marvel knows way more than us. Exactly. Marvel knows him being dropped by that PR team or whatever. I don't, maybe they didn't do their due diligence, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe maybe this was just an excuse for them to drop him anyway. Or maybe he dropped, because a lot of things get reported differently. They might have amicably split because they're not doing their job for him, right? And maybe he just say, you know what, y'all can, we'll walk. You know what I'm saying? I'll walk, you walk. I can go get representation from someplace else after this. You know what I'm saying? After everything comes out in the wash or whatever. Sometimes when there's hit pieces on you, and I think Variety has been doing a major hit piece on him. Then they've only been telling half truths when it comes to this Jonathan Major story. It seems like, I think it's Variety. Let me not die on that hill, because you know how I be in these spaces, but I want to say it's Variety has been coming out and just everything has been bad when it comes to the reporting of this incident. You know what I'm saying? I just think if you're in a journalistic environment, I think you should report the news or anything. Any kind of reporting should be fair, right? There shouldn't be a bias leaning to one side or the other, unless you're doing like an op-ed or something like that. But if you're just reporting true facts, then just report the facts, man, and call it a day. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're doing it as news. Me and Jonathan need to switch place so I could be. Go ahead, man. Call him up. Matter of fact, don't call him up. Call up Megan Good and see if she'll swap with you. You know what I'm saying? She'll come on your side instead of kicking it with old JM. Let me see, Variety and the Cosmic Circus, which is the sham. Right, right. Yeah, they've been coming hard, man. They've been coming hard. It's weird. It's weird. You didn't see this much slack, and I hate to bring, I'm gonna talk about Ezra in a minute. But you didn't see that much slack with the whole Ezra situation. You know what I mean? You did not see that much slack with old Ezzy.